All right, why don't we start with the whip? Short for whip around. The NFL whip around on a Monday morning. I've got to start the Monday morning with a shout out to the nation. A quick shout out to the nation. And no, I do not mean Jardiance Nation. That does not exist. Bam. I stopped you dead in your tracks. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not a thing. You know that's not the nation that I'm talking about. You know exactly what nation I'm talking about. I'm talking about Victory Cigar Nation. I'm talking about Autumn Wind Nation. I'm talking about the fully liberated Raider Nation. I saw them yesterday in Vegas. And I saw a Jets fan too. We're not talking about them. Well, we will. But we're talking about the Raider Nation. The proud supporters of a 500 football team. And a 2-0 interim head coach who is not named Josh McDaniels. Got to give it up to Antonio Pierce. He's more than just not Josh McDaniels. He's doing and saying the right thing. He is slamming the right buttons. He is bringing the right attitude and swag and vibe. And as a result, this looks like a completely different team. I said after week one, I thought they looked like a completely different team. But then again, what did they really do? They slapped the hell out of the Giants. So? But then again, what did they really do yesterday? They beat the Jets. So? But they do look like a totally different team. No, that was not the most aesthetically pleasing win ever. It was not pretty. But Raider Nation does not need pretty. Raider Nation has never been about pretty. Raider Nation just needed some damn dubs. Raider Nation just needed some damn dubs, and that's exactly what they got 2 weeks in a row. And you know what? It's pretty impressive. I mean, it's one thing to axe a coach and then get a 1 week boost from fires being lit under their asses. It is another thing to axe a coach and then have the entire vibe and identity of that team change right there on the spot. And that's exactly what's going on in Vegas. Again, when they run into somebody a little more formidable, then this might have a different kind of result. But I'm just talking about the way they carry themselves. They love their jobs again. They love their teammates again. They love everything again. Just ask Davante Adams. In fact, you don't even need to ask him anything. Just look at the dude. He looks like a completely reinvigorated, rejuvenated, totally different dude altogether. Think back 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, Davante was sitting slumped in his locker, speechless, unable to even find the words and put them together to describe the frustration and the misery of being a Raider. Now, he looks like the happiest dude ever. Now, he's even being used properly, finally. And Antonio Pierce is not shy about dunking all over my guy Josh about that very point. I mean, the entire team being galvanized behind their hatred for Josh McDaniels really is something else. That's not the team, Alvy. That's the fans. That's not them with their cigars. That wasn't Davante and Josh and Max with their cigars. I mean, that would have been a sight to behold, right? And I say that as a Josh fan. No, that said, it's a huge help that they got to play the Giants and the Jets at home in back-to-back weeks. I must be real about that. They'll take those damn dubs. They needed those damn dubs. They're literally still in this thing. But they did just get the New York teams back-to-back at home. Which brings me to the Jets, Jets, who apparently still are willing to die on Coug Hunter Hill. Now, I really want to give credit to Zach Wilson. I mean, I want to. I'm trying to. He did look a little better last night. Because he did look a little better last night, right? But only a little better. And in the end, it was still a Coug Hunter mistake with a back-breaking pick in the final 2 minutes that doomed them. So really, what does it matter what he looked like prior to that pick? because you have to squint way too long and way too hard to eventually see a little bit of progress in Wilson, but not nearly enough to close the gap, not nearly enough progress. And all I have to do to back that up is to point at the scoreboard and the lack of points on the scoreboard and the total absence of touchdowns. These dudes, the Jets, have now gone 36 straight offensive possessions without a tutty. I mean, they've got skill. They have skill. 36 straight offensive possessions without a touchdown, which is almost as impressive as it is terrible. That is not easy to do. As an example, even Tommy DeVito found a way to an offensive touchdown each of the last 2 weeks. But the Coug Hunter couldn't? The Jets couldn't? I mean, I would ask Bob Saleh what the hell you're thinking about dying on Coug Hunter Hill. But I'm pretty sure the dude would just plead the fifth once again.
I'm gonna plead the fifth on all this one.
I know. Yeah, I know, Bob. And I haven't forgotten about you either, Nathaniel Still Can't Hack It. You think maybe you might want to get the ball to Breece Hall? Maybe. You think you might want to get the ball in that guy's hands, I don't know, before the fourth quarter? Given how electric he is and given who you have under center? Why are you asking the CH to go win you games when you know he can't? Even if he is in a position late to win, he's just going to revert back to his default setting and do what he did last night. You know, do what he always does when it matters most. Take an enormous dump in his pants. And then split the opposition's numbers. Split the numbers of an opponent with a busted hand. Coug Hunter gonna Coug. Now the question is, the hell do the Jets do at quarterback? Not that they have a lot of options, but what do the Jets do now at quarterback? What do you do going forward? But you know me. You know me. I'm an upbeat, positive, lighthearted, enthusiastic sort. I'm always looking for the positive in everything. So let me give the Coug Hunter this much. Let me say something positive about him. At least he's not Mac Jones. And as horrible as the Jets' offense was, again, at least it wasn't Patriots horrible. And as hideous as the Jets' offense was last night, they did still score twice as many points as New England scored in Germany yesterday morning. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but if you're going to get on a plane and go way the hell over there, you better get a win. You better get a win no matter who you are if you're going to go all the way over there. They didn't. But I don't want to pile on Mac overly. I don't want to pile on Mac too hard because Bill O'Brien seems to have taken care of that for me. Did you see O'Brien? You see Bob on the sideline lighting up, chewing out, and eviscerating Mac. No wonder this dude has no confidence, no self-esteem anymore. Whatever self-esteem he had, O'Brien just stomped all over it. I'm not saying he was wrong. I mean, dude, that pick was horrible. It pretty much looked like, though, he made the dude cry right there on the sideline. And then sad Mac had to sit there and watch Bailey Zappi perform the saddest fake spike play in NFL history to seal the loss and drop the Hoodman's Pats to 2-8. So sad Mac is broken Mac. And by the way, a lot of that's on the hood. The dude has gone completely backwards from his rookie year when they thought they really had something in him. But that'll happen when your coordinators keep changing and you have Matt the Ticonderoga, Patricia, as your OC for a year, along with Joe, the leader of men, Judge, as your quarterback coach. And you've got little to no talent around you. I'm not trying to make an excuse for Mac. I'm not. I mean, he's got to own this. I'm just saying that his failure is probably as much the Hood's failure as it is his own because this dude's nothing like the dude we saw his rookie year, and in his rookie year, he was fine. Better than fine, actually. So exactly where then does that leave the Hood? We'll obviously get into this when Tom Curran comes on because, again, he was on that Patriot beat before the Hood even arrived. He's seen it all. But that's 3 L's in a row for the Pats. They still have the worst record in the AFC. And the reason they have the worst record in the AFC is because they're the worst team in the AFC. And it's not even close. I never expected, nor do I expect the dude to get fired this week, or really at any point during the season. I don't see Bob Kraft making a change in season. However, I know some of my half fam, the Chouds, would be fine with it. And I can't say that I'd blame Robert Kraft if he did pull the plug, because short of Belichick agreeing to go give up his personnel and GM duties, that thing's never going to change. It's not going to change with him calling all the shots. I think we can all agree on that, right? The man has not forgotten how to coach. I want to say that. He has not forgotten how to coach. I think he can still be effective as a coach. But he sure as hell has forgotten how to draft and build a roster, if in fact he ever knew how to do it in the first place. I mean, just look at who and what he's running out there every single week. Now, the good news is we do at least have confirmation that they did let him on the plane to make that flight back home. So at least Hood's got that going for him, which is nice. Then he met with the media, which was not nice. But of course, in meeting with the media, the big question was, what are you going to do at quarterback? And of course, the big answer was, this dude's like, it's like some toy from the 70s where you pull the string in the back. Yeah, we just got back from Germany, so we'll look at everything and not just the quarterback. And hey man, any of those pretzels left over from Germany. And when's Oktoberfest anyway? Hey, I'm surprised you didn't try and sneak that in. Hey, we still doing pretzels for lunch?
Are we doing pretzels for lunch?
No. Yeah, Hood, you probably should look at everything, quote, all across the board. Because what you're presiding over right now is a dumpster fire. A dumpster fire of your doing, Gramps. It's still incredible to me, all the way across the board. Hey, you got any of that fancy mustard for those pretzels?
We doing pretzels?
Can we at least go to the mall and go to Wetzel's Pretzels? If you can't give me any of those real pretzels, if Wetzel's isn't available, how about Auntie Anne's? I like her. You're a good old gal, Auntie Anne. She makes herself a good pretzel. Hey, Auntie. It's incredible to me still that either the Jets or the Pats could have had Josh Dobbs for a 6th-round pick, but only Minnesota was smart enough to pull that trigger. So they get all the credit for making that deal work. Minnesota should get some of the credit, and then the Pastronaut himself should get the rest. How about this dude? What Josh Dobbs just did over the past 2 weeks is straight up absurd. According to ESPN, he became the first player in NFL history to put up 400 passing yards, 100 rushing yards, and no INTs in his first 2 games with a team. And he's doing that for a team that is missing its best player, who would be Josh's top weapon in Justin Jefferson. Yeah, I know. He had an entire week to prepare for this one. Plenty of time. Too much time by his standards. I mean, this guy might have even learned some of the names of the dudes in the huddle. Ironically enough, his name is becoming one of the most famous names in Minnesota right now, and he's only been there 2 games. One thing I know for sure, my dude, the legend, Paul Allen, is loving every second of this. I mean, I don't even know what the best story in the NFL is right now. That's 5 dubs in a row for the Vikes, who were left for dead. They're now a 7 seed in the NFC, which has got to be pretty shocking for Vikings fan. But Minnesota might not be the best story in the NFL because they're not the only shocking 7 seed this morning. Because the 7 seed in the AFC right now belongs to none other than jungle legend Nick Caserio's Texans. Somebody should really give that clone some bleeping credit. For real. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell to be the first to know when we do upload a new video.